Hello and welcome to another Source Gaming discussion for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I'm NantenJex and joining me today is Nirbion.
Hey guys!
So it was a pretty dull week, I'd say. I don't think there was much really to talk about, not many new announcements, and oh, you know I'm kidding. We had the big Super Smash Bros. Direct on Wednesday, and while Nirbion was in the live reactions along with Push and Corlin and Shadow Link as the guest, I was unfortunately at work and just handling all the tweets going out.
But you did a very good job in that. So, I mean, you could tell the excitement you had when King K. Rool was announced, for example. So, yeah, you did a good job.
Well, yeah, a lot of people are really excited for K. Rool. He's been a character a lot of people have been waiting for. But before we get into the proper direct discussion, there was also the Dayleaf pictures and stuff like that, so we'll briefly go over them, although to be honest, they're not that interesting, and the last two are all related to characters shown off in the Direct, so we'll probably talk about them there anyway.
Yeah, let's start with the Monday.
Yeah, so Monday was Samus's trailer, so the next character update, which I suppose was appropriate to come out now, considering Dark Samus was revealed on Wednesday.
Yeah, so, but I didn't thought as a hint of Dark Samus, I just thought, yeah, they're just wrapping up all the content they already have and just shrugged it away, honestly, it's...
Yeah, I don't think it was any kind of hint, she was just one of the main characters they needed to get out, really.
Yes.
They've had Mario, we've had Link, I think have we had Kirby yet?
Yeah, we had Kirby.
Yeah, we had Kirby, so now it's Samus. She didn't come with a memory either. You haven't had a chance to play Smash yet, but I did, and I've played as Samus, and she's basically exactly the same as she was in Ultimate. I didn't notice any particular differences between not in Ultimate, she's the same as she was in Smash 4. I didn't really notice any difference between that and the Ultimate version, which might be upsetting to some, because I hear she's not that great in Smash 4.
I mean, I remember when Smash 4 was announced at E3 with the Invitational at that time, Sakurai went on stage and said that Samus was currently on their build the best character, and now I don't know the tier list, but it's more at the bottom tier right now for Samus, so...
Yeah, I have a feeling he wasn't telling the truth a little bit there.
Oh no, Sakurai lied to us! Oh no!
So that was Monday's thing. There wasn't much to talk about. And then Tuesday's was a new item from the Kirby series, being the Bomber enemy.
Yes, I think the Bomber itself just first appeared in Kirby's Adventure, if I recall it correctly. I think he was in the first game, but since then it's a staple in the Kirby series. And,
I feel like maybe he was in the first... I know the first one didn't have power-ups, but I don't know. I feel like there was something. Maybe I'm thinking of something else in a different item.
I mean, there was
you're more the expert than I am.
I mean, there was literally a bomb in Kirby's Dreamland, so maybe you're mistaken for that. But yeah, it's an item Sakurai is very familiar with since the beginning, so... And I'm happy Kirby gets more items.
Yeah, I'm surprised we're getting so many living items this time. I mean, we always had the Bomb, and then the Melee added Mr. Saturn. And then we've just had, like, Smash 4 had the Cuckoo, and now we've gotten both the Bomber and the Rambling Evil Mushroom from Earthbound.
Ah, true.
There's a lot of sudden, like, enemies or items, stuff being bombers. As for the Kirby item itself, I did try and use it when I got to play Smash Ultimate, and to be honest, I don't think it's that good an item.
No.
Like, for one-on-ones, it's basically useless. But if it's chaotic and 4 to 8 people and you're trying to sneak up, sure, because the blast radius is actually really large. But the problem is, it's like the special flag. You have to hold it above your head and charge it, and you can't move while it's doing it, and then it will go off. So if you've got anyone who's you're playing against people who are actually aware of their surroundings, if you run over and try and do it, they'll most likely scatter before they get a chance.
That's true.
It's not like the trailer that they showed in the Direct where everyone runs over to Little Mac as he's using it.
I mean, that would be
played by idiots.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, one plus of the Bomber is that you don't get damaged by the explosion yourself, so that's at least one good thing about it. But yeah, true. Honestly, it seems like it will be an item that, yeah, won't change anything.
Yeah. So on to the actual Wednesdays, and there was obviously a huge direct that revealed a ton of stuff that was all very, very exciting. And right before that, there was actually a bit of a leak where Wednesday's blog post, which was a new music update, got somewhat leaked beforehand. And it was Bloody Tears and Monster Dance from Castlevania, which was then put up properly after the direct, but it basically told us that there was going to be Castlevania stuff showed off in this direct.
Yes, I'm still baffled about how this could happen, and I mean, you have to actively change the title. I mean,
yeah,
it wasn't placeholder for Gallagher.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah.
And we also talked that in our pre live stream, and we also thought maybe, I mean, they prepared a screenshot for the direct, and maybe this was one of the last minute edition, and they just forgot to change the title. And
seems like such a last minute edit though for something that's going to go live on that day. I almost feel like that was probably more of a mock-up that they had done, or maybe they've got a test site somewhere where they're uploading stuff to.
Yeah, honestly, stuff like this is better to make a mock-up. And because, yeah, like, it can be leaked, people will find out. But
right, yeah.
Yeah, it happened.
But,
and
what are your thoughts on the song itself, seeing as that was what Wednesday's post was actually about, the Bloody Tears and Monster Dance? See, I'm playing Castlevania 2 right now, and so I know exactly, I understand the context of this song, because in Smash 4 there was a few songs that were like On It and Snowman, you know, two songs pushed together. I think 3D Land had that as well, something like Super Mario Brothers Athletic and then Beach Theme. But I actually, while I didn't like them ones, I actually like this one because it makes sense. I don't know, have you played Castlevania 2?
To be fair, I mean, I played Castlevania 2 a little bit, and also played a little bit the series, but I'm not really familiar with the Castlevania series.
Okay.
So, well, I don't have context to the music, but I still like it. I mean, the jingle, I think that if I recall it correctly, the jingle when there's a mechanic in Simon's Quest where there's going to be night and day, and if I recall it correctly, I think it was incorporated in that song? Or
yes, because Bloody Tears is the daytime battle theme, essentially, and Monster Dance is the nighttime battle theme. So the song transitions as if it's transitioning from day to night.
That's
which
neat. Now
makes it a lot more sense why these two are combined, which I appreciate more than like On It and Snowman, which have no actual connection with each other.
Not really. So yeah. Right.
But yeah, no, I really like this song. Listening to it, I'm hoping to hear the longer version. Particularly, I've always been a fan of Bloody Tears as a Castlevania song. So it's good to. I'm hoping we'll get another version of that track. Although we know the entire Castlevania track list thanks to the direct.
Yes,
so
34 tracks.
Have a look.
I mean,
speaking of Castlevania, we may as well do this direct in order. And also, the Thursday's picture was a new Castlevania character being Simon Belmont, and he also came with a memory of himself, which was just basically saying that the Belmont clan fight Dracula every 100 years, and Simon's game debuted in 1986. Yeah. Neat little factoid for people.
For people who don't know Castlevania, the very first game.
Yeah. But Simon, yeah, like after being rumoured for so long, he's finally in the game. And that reveal trailer was actually incredible.
Oh my god, yeah, I mean, at the beginning, when he walked up at the castle, everyone knew it was Simon.
Yeah.
But the trailer still played around the mystery and cut it to Luigi, which was such a great choice of character. Like, he's perfect for in Castlevania trailer because of Luigi's mansion, and it was really, really well made.
Yeah, I can't believe I didn't think of it. Like, I was trying to come up with ideas for how they would do the Simon trailer and which characters would appear. I was thinking Bowser or Ganondorf and maybe Link or something like that. I didn't even think of Luigi, but it makes so much sense now.
Yeah, I mean, you associate with Luigi more ghost hunting and not monster or Dracula hunting, so it was an entirely new field, and something Game Explain also pointed out that Luigi actually has a new poltergeist featured in the trailer.
I've seen a few people point that out to me. Like, maybe that is a hint of Luigi's Mansion 3 or something, because it seems like an odd thing to change that. Although I wouldn't be surprised. There's a lot of people have been expecting a Luigi's Mansion on Switch for a while. I think there's probably one planned for Wii U, but it got pushed back. Next Level Games haven't released anything on a console for a long time now.
I mean, yeah, it might be a hint to Luigi's Mansion 3, but I can also see it's just an unique design for Smash, because a lot of stuff is uniquely designed for Smash, like the whole design from Mega Man, and that was specifically designed for this crossover event. And
considering he likes to reference stuff that exists, though, it seems a bit weird to then just make a brand new Poltergust when Luigi already has one, and his model before already has one, and that fits perfectly fine.
Okay,
seems a bit odd.
It would be odd. It would be actually a good point.
But speaking of Luigi, the first big reveal of this direct was that he's dead. Rest in peace.
Yes. Rest in peace.
Luigi died. Now he's gonna be hunted by his own vacuum.
Nah, I'm not going to make that joke. But yeah, it was too good for this one. And I'm super surprised Nintendo even allowed that. Like he, even at the end of the trailer, Luigi's ghost looked at the dead body of himself, and I thought, wow, that's...
Yeah. Luigi's dead body definitely looks a bit morbid.
Yeah. I mean, we all imagine Nintendo being a protective company like Disney, and making an exception for this, wow.
Well, it's alright. Simon was there to protect him, and he's okay. Nintendo confirmed. So it's fine. It's
Nintendo
fine.
says. But maybe there's more to the story.
He got a 1-up mushroom. It's all good. But yeah, that brings us on to actual Simon Belmont and how he plays, and he is like perfect. I almost wish we had Spazzy on here to gush about it, because I know he's really keen on just going all out on all the Castlevania references and stuff. But they've really pulled a Mega Man with this one. Like, Simon stands just like his NES sprite does and walks along like that. He's got his Super Castlevania 4 whip, and then takes a bunch of moves from Richter Belmont, from Rondo of Blood, who is also playable. And I think that was the first actual massive surprise for me of this direct.
Because no one saw it coming. Because I mean, every leak before only focused on Simon, and no one on their mind thought of Richter being announced as
There's only one leak with Richter in it, and that leak has Richter and no Simon.
Oh.
It's like, literally starts with like, everyone's right about Castlevania, but they've got the character wrong. It's actually going to be Richter Belmont.
No,
and
they're both.
Like, nope, it's actually both, so you're all wrong.
And this also makes Richter to be the first third-party Echo Fighter.
And that's changed a lot of things. Before, because everyone was always pulling for Shadow the Hedgehog, and while there wasn't any like rules against two third-party Echoes, my argument was always, well, you know, people are saying Shadow because Knuckles is an assist trophy, and there's no rules against two third-party assist trophies from the same series, so why is it that okay and this not? And I was just thinking, personally, it was more of a fairness thing, I think. I was like, why should some third-party guests get multiple characters while others don't? Like, Mega Man stuck with one character, why should Sonic and Castlevania get two? But now that, well, Sakurai decided he doesn't care, and Castlevania got two characters, I feel like the door is really open for the likes of Shadow and Ken, maybe Miss Pac-Man. I'm not as convinced that Zack or Jean are, like, important or popular enough to deserve getting in, but the other three, they very well could.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't sort of beg from Final Fantasy VII or Final Fantasy Crisis Core, which is, by the way, a very good game. No, but it opens a big door to possibilities, and it's nice to have a confirmation that this is now a possibility. So fans can put in their shadow requests as much as they want. Even though I don't want this shadow.
Hey, I've said it on Twitter and it's been screen capped for prosperity, but if Shadow gets in, I will make him one of my mains. And I will prove that he's like the second best character in Smash.
Yes,
Smash
I see what you did there, yeah.
But no, Richter and Simon both look really cool. I particularly really like Richter's, I'm guessing it's his dash attack or his tilt, where he slides along the ground and then you can jump out of that into like a drop kick. And I'm really interested to see how, like, I'm not sure if he goes from a dash then presses jump and presses like forward air to pull that off, or if this is just all like one unique animation for his dash attack. But it's really cool. Like, it's very dynamic, which I quite like.
But I think I saw something similar for Simon when they also showed some of his moves. He also comes out from it. Yeah,
no, they both have it because they're Echo Fighters, but the move was actually originally from Rondo of Blood. As I have come to learn by briefly looking into this stuff, like Simon's final smash is also one of Richter's moves.
Yes, and it was even mentioned in the direct that some or many moves Simon also just got from Rondo of Blood from Richter, and so it's not really sure who is an echo of who. So
it's true. That's very much true. So those two look really fun, and I like how they've incorporated well a lot of the Castlevania equipment. Like, a lot of people thought they were the cross, the holy water. Is the axe in it? Do we know what Simon Belmont's? Do we know all of Simon Belmont's special? He has an I'm sure Sakurai said it. He has an uppercut. He has the cross. He has the holy water as his down special. But what was the other one?
I think the axe.
Was it the axe? Oh yeah, it was the axe. Yes, the axe.
Yes, with the balloons.
Yes, yes, it was. I was trying to remember. I thought it was the axe, but I couldn't remember exactly if it was the axe or the dagger or something else. But the axes makes a lot of sense as this neutral B.
Yeah, which something about Simon I'm also really is that they are taking the design from the first NES game, because Simon has a lot of many designs, and
you don't want the bondage judgment design where he looks like Light from Death Note.
I mean, it was from the artist from Light.
Yeah, it was.
Death Note, so...
But all the designs of that game are so utterly bizarre.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I'm super glad that Simon got his 80s buff boy design.
Conan the Barbarian He-Man design. He better have a pink ult, so we can really get that He-Man going.
Yeah, that would be very cool. So I think everyone who wanted Simon in Smash Bros. Are happy with him. So this is what counts, and this is just awesome to have Castlevania representation now in Smash.
Yeah. Well, not just Simon Belmont stuff, but just Castlevania in general, because the amount of love this series has gotten is ridiculous. Like, I thought Mega Man got a lot of attention in Smash 4, but I almost feel like this blows that out of the water. We've not only got 2 characters, and we've got a brand new stage with multiple references and bosses. We've also got a new assist trophy with Alucard, a new item with Death's Scythe, and then like 2 bosses for what is probably going to be this potential Spirits mode, which we'll talk about in a bit. But it's looking like Dracula's Castle is the last stage to be added in the base game for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, as they definitively said there would be 103 stages, not including Battlefield and Omega versions.
I mean, they are included in the 103. And if they excluded an S100 stage, I think this is
I mean the Battlefield and Omega versions of every stage. Like you said, if you then include them, there's like 300 stages.
Okay, true.
That's what I meant, sorry.
Nah. But yeah, I think also that Castlevania for the base game is the last stage.
Yeah.
Even though we saw some hints of a Monster Hunter stage ? But
No, yeah.
we can talk about it later.
I want to focus on the Castlevania references in this because, like, it was pointed out to me, but like all of the bosses who appear on the stage are all the bosses from Castlevania 1 and 2. You've got the mummies, Frankenstein, Carmilla, the Death showing up. The only one who's actually not... The only boss missing is the Big Bat. And the only one that's there that isn't a boss is the werewolf, who's just there.
Yeah, just shows up and says hello. I mean, like in a like in a horror ride from Disney World and such. But yeah,
I like the stage. It's the final area of Castlevania 1. It's the final boss room where you fight Dracula. As they just beat Castlevania 1, I recognised it as you climb up the stairs and then you enter his throne. You enter the room with his coffin and you can see the coffin in the background. And while in Smash, because it's Smash, it's actually all just floating up in the sky, rather than being attached to anything like any reasonable tower would be. It's still a cool area from Castlevania, because obviously Project M had a Dracula's Castle level as well.
Yeah.
Like a long time ago, and their version was very plain. Dracula's Castle is in the background, and you're just fighting on like one of the walls.
Yeah, so Project M has also the competitive scene in mind, so this is why they didn't include any bosses or stages or more.
True. But I think even layout-wise, I think this stage, if it wasn't for the bosses, so if you took the stage toggle and put it to off, so there were no stage gimmicks, this would be a competitively viable stage, I think.
Yeah, I think so, but I still appreciate the efforts from the Project M team, because we are just comparing a hobby team project with a professional.
I'm not downplaying their the effort that they put into it, but it is like the only point of comparison we have.
But
the Smash,
yeah,
the Dracula's Castle stage, which is like a generic castle stage, but Castlevania themed, with the like actual Dracula's coffin room, which is the iconic final boss area of the game.
Yeah, and which even has might even have a very obscure Dracula boss, which surprised me a lot.
I love that when I saw it. So there's a Dracula boss, and
yes,
as Push has pointed out on Twitter, the Dracula boss room and the Castlevania's Dracula's Castle stage are actually two separate areas, which most likely means that Dracula himself won't appear on the stage, as they hinted that you'd require a special... In the American one, it said there were special requirements to get him, but in the actual Japanese one, they said it was like a different area or something like that. Or where can you find Dracula? You'll find out later.
So it basically said, look forward to where you can fight Dracula. So
it implies that he's going to be probably wherever this Monster Hunter boss is that gets shown later. It's going to be the same sort of mode. You'll fight Dracula. And he's like massive.
Oh yeah, and I'm really curious about how you can fight Dracula, because in some scenes you can see that Lucario can't, for example, attack Dracula, and I'm really curious about the condition, how to attack him and what
the original Castlevania. So it depends on how they base it on, because design here is very much based on the iconic Symphony of the Night Dracula. But in the original Castlevania game, Dracula's only weak point was actually his head.
Oh.
Nothing.
Okay.
The rest of it did no damage to him. It was just his head that actually that hurt him. And we actually see in the scenes where Richter defeats him, the cross is actually head level, and Richter defeats him with an uppercut. So I wonder if the same thing's going to be applied here, where you'll only be able to hurt Dracula via either the upper half of his body or just his head.
I mean, it would make sense. It would make sense. It's also a reference to how he was beat in the first game, and it would just make a lot of sense.
I'm also wondering if Dracula's going to have two forms, because in every Castlevania game that you fight him, he has two forms. His original human-looking form, where he throws fireballs around, and then this big monster form where he jumps around at you with like a giant bat monster.
Yeah, I mean, it was already hinted at the direct when they showed Dracula, where he already transformed in a big monster. So I think it's very like... Yeah,
did he transform?
He did. I'm very, very certain.
If he did transform into a big monster, then yeah, okay, then that would be in there. I know that
making me very unsure. You're just making me very unsure.
I didn't remember seeing that unless it was like a frame or something. But I know that there's one secret boss from Castlevania, and I'm really curious to see how this fight's going to go out because it's Kid Dracula from the Japan-only NES game and the Game Boy game that released
that's Japan
worldwide.
Exclusive.
The NES one is. There's two. There's an NES game and a Game Boy one. The Game Boy one was worldwide, but the NES one was actually Japan exclusive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you did your
I found
research.
this out recently because I wanted to try and look up the game to see if I could play it. So now I'm interested. And it makes me really laugh because when I did a poll before Smash Ultimate released and asked people what characters they expected and what characters they wanted, there was one guy who wanted to see Kid Dracula appear in Smash.
What, really?
Yeah, so he's on this picture. He's right near the bottom. He's right next to Sans because they had a very similar standing position. But it was just like this one guy who really wanted to see Kid Dracula. Well, there you go. He's going to be in Smash, at least in some form.
Yeah, he must be very happy about that. Because if you think about it, Kid Dracula, even in the lore of Castlevania, is such an obscure character. It's basically the kids' version of Castlevania.
Yeah.
Having even a reference to him just shows how much Sakurai puts to the how much love Sakurai gives the Castlevania series, and how much he knows about the series as well.
Yeah. Trust Sakurai to get something like that in.
Yeah.
So, I love it. But, yeah, I guess the only other major Castlevania thing to talk about is Alucard as an assist trophy, which I could easily say that everyone saw coming.
Yeah.
Because Alucard is so very much the popular fishy boy of Castlevania.
True.
And Symphony of the Night is such an important game to the series that if Simon was going to be playable, then Alucard was going to be an assist.
So sadly, Symphony of the Night was never released, if I recall correctly, on the Nintendo platform.
No, it wasn't. It's Sony only. But Alucard has appeared. Alucard debuted on a Nintendo platform, to be fair. Because Alucard's first appearance is Castlevania 3.
Ah, okay.
The design
that's
is,
fair.
and it's the same Alucard because in Symphony of the Night he references events from Castlevania 3.
This just shows how much I'm not aware or knowledge about the Castlevania series. So yeah, good.
It's just yes, Symphony of the Night like defined his design because obviously in the original Castlevania he's just like a sprite, and then in Captain N he has sunglasses and a skateboard.
Yes.
Why do we not have this design in the game?
I think we are not. I think Spacey said we are not allowed to talk about Captain N, about the Castlevania reference, so we better leave it like at that.
Okay. Let's move away from Castlevania and go to Sakurai just dumping 2 more characters on us. Both
Just
Echo
like
Fighters,
that.
but just like that, we had 4 characters within like 8 minutes of the direct. And I'm very happy with these 2 because I'm now 4-8 on my character predictions.
Yes, you were spot on with that.
And I've been saying it for a while, but Dark Samus and Chrom were both characters who seemed very likely for Smash. Like, Chrom I was less convinced on, admittedly, because of the fact that he would need to stand out from Ike, which they kind of did by not making him an Ike Echo at all. And he'd also, the fact that the only real hint we had to him not being there was that we hadn't seen Robin's final Smash, and that Ike's outfit he was missing his Chrom one. But to be fair, Ike now has like half of his outfits based on young Ike, and his blue outfit in his new blue outfit is young Ike's outfit rather than Radiant Dawn Ike's Chrom outfit. It's the Sigurd outfit that young Ike had. So there's like precedent for why Chrom was cut, other than him being a character. But there you go, he was. He was added in as a echo of Roy with one of Ike's moves, which actually opens the door entirely to how we should be looking at Echo Fighters.
Yes.
I'm like, there is like no defining rule going on. It keep the goalposts keep being pushed back by Sakurai.
And yet, Dr. Mario is still not considered as an Echo Fighter. This is so inconsistent. Like,
yeah, there has to be a limit because it can't be that veterans is just a veteran thing because of the fact that Lucina and Dark Pit are veterans, but they're Echo Fighters. So,
but no, a lot of people are happy with Chrom being in Smash, and he was a fan favorite, and in crossover projects or crossover promotions, Chrom is always featured alongside Lucina, and I think from that perspective it makes sense to include Chrom as a new Fire Emblem Echo Fighter.
Yeah, well, Chrom is the Marth of modern Fire Emblem.
Yes.
Like, Awakening really changed up the series, and I can't imagine that it's going to be disappearing anytime soon, to be honest. It's left such an impact. I think we'll always be seeing Marth and Chrom around.
Yes, true, I agree, and what I'm more surprised is that there's not a big outcry of another Fire Emblem character. I
have seen it. I mean, there was that Kotaku article. Although, to be fair, if you actually read that Kotaku article, her problem isn't another Fire Emblem character. It's that we have another Fire Emblem character who fights like Marth does. Which is slightly unfair because Roy doesn't quite fight like Marth does anymore. And Chrom is based on Roy with bits of Ike thrown in. But I get the precedent, like, with so many... On the one hand, it's an easy pick, and Chrom is obviously going to fight a lot like Marth does, as he's a Lord. But on the other hand, there are so many other unique Fire Emblem characters, like Robin and Corrin, that if there is going to be any more Fire Emblem reps from here on out, they really, really should be unique.
Yeah.
I don't think you can justify a 5th Lord who has a similar moveset to Marth. Like, 3 was pushing it, to be fair.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, even the article got a pushback. Like, when I saw the article popping up in my timeline, I saw a lot of people just arguing against the article and just say they're really happy about Chrom, and this is what actually counts. Even though it's
true.
Yeah, a lot of people are satisfied.
Yeah, the pushback isn't nearly as bad as when Corrin got on. I think a lot of people kind of acknowledge that Chrom as an Echo Fighter was an easy addition, but also Chrom is just a popular Fire Emblem character who a lot of people wanted in the last game.
Yes, and the timing was very different when DLC was announced and everyone thought their most wanted, their vote pick will be shown, and it was just another Fire. So I can see why there was a pushback at Corrin and why there's not as much for Chrom.
Yeah. But Chrom, I'm super happy he's in. I don't know if I'm going to use him. I'll get his amiibo, because he's actually the only Fire Emblem amiibo I don't have. And now I just need to decide if I get his regular one or if I just wait for the Smash one. I might just wait for the Smash one. But I'm not sure I'll use Chrom's, but I think I will use Dark Samus. Because I just really, really like how they've presented Dark Samus in this. I love her model, and her design is a cross between the Prime 2 and Prime 3 designs. I love how she floats around and moves, and even though I'm not that big a fan of Samus's moveset, I don't know, there's something about, like, I've watched the Dark Samus character trailer quite a few times, and I really like how she looks in this game.
Yeah, I think she's a little bit slower in reaction, if I saw it correct. Like, her movements are not as quick as from Samus, but I also love how Dark Samus turns out, and yeah, with Metroid Prime 4 being rumored, developed by Bandai Namco, just rumored, not officially revealed, but rumored, I think it was inevitable to have a Metroid Prime representation in the Smash Bros. Game as a fighter, and
yeah. Well, a lot of people were thinking it would be Sylex as DLC, which I still think, and it does make me wonder if we get Sylex as a DLC fighter for Metroid Prime 4 in the same vein we got Corrin. Metroid will have had the exact same treatment Fire Emblem had in the last game.
Yes.
With one newcomer, one Echo fighter, and then one DLC fighter. And I
Yes.
guarantee that we won't see anyone complaining about that like they did with Fire
No.
Emblem.
No, but yeah, even with Dark Samus now, we got 2 newcomers. I mean, 1 Echo, admittedly, but two new newcomers to a franchise that was basically said it's dead, and
Now
I'm
we just need
happy.
Dixie Kong, and then people will shut up about representation, except for the Kirby fans who are rightfully can keep complaining until Bandana D gets added.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind, but that's another story for another time.
It's true. Although I will say, if Bandana D and Dixie Kong both get added, I think that's it. Like, I don't think you need to add anything else. I mean, it's always been nice, but almost every complaint rallied against Smash would be kind of fulfilled at that point.
I mean, except Waluigi, but
Nah. Him and Gino will always be missing out, but
yes,
I don't feel like either are like I don't feel like the game lacks anything by not having either of them. Personally speaking,
no,
don't
I
feel
think
me,
so
please.
too. And if the direct said that's it, that's all the characters, I would be completely satisfied with everything. Even though one of my most wanted is not there, but they crammed so many fighters. They got Pichu back, and Young Link, and they even, Kinky Ruby go to him later, but they're putting so much fan service inside. I think I would be already super satisfied. And
Yeah, same. Although, why don't we jump and talk to King K. Rool now, as he, even though he was the fast reveal in the direct, we're on characters, so we may as well continue. And Friday's picture and memory was King K. Rool, with the memory being that King K. Rool's part of the Kremlin crew. They had a picture of them all, and also that halfway through his battle against Donkey Kong, he pretends to be dead, and then performs a surprise attack, which is referenced at the end of the King K. Rool character trailer, where he's lying down, and while DK and Diddy are celebrating, he sneaks off and jumps back at them, which was a fun little joke. But I feel like that scene has to be edited, because unless he snuck off, hit a super mushroom, grew larger, and then jumped back in that time frame, that's got to be like not actually doable.
I mean, I saw a lot of people arguing that might be a gimmick for King Rool to grow bigger, but
no.
Why? I mean, that's not his characteristic. At least
not at all.
Yeah, I mean, we all know that Sakurai uses the debug mode to make special creature that's very difficult to make otherwise, and
But King K. Rool has finally been added after all this. The real ballot winner is in the game, and he's like really, really cool looking. Like, I know a lot of people wanted Ridley, and when I saw him, I wasn't as convinced I'd like him. And when I tried him out, I was convinced that I liked him. But King K. Rool already, I think, looks great. I'm amazed that they referenced all of his games. I was so sure that they would just ignore Donkey Kong Country 3 and maybe only reference 64 via the boxing gloves. But no, like, they have his helicopter escape pack from DKC3, and they have him blowing up Donkey Kong Island for his final smash.
Yes, and I think everyone who wanted King K. Rool in Smash Bros. Must or has to be very happy, and because he's basically everything we wish for King K. Rool. Like his moves, his ground throw, his helicopter, all his reference to the Donkey Kong Country series and Donkey Kong 64. It's all there. You can see it's King K. Rool, you can feel it's King K. Rool, and I think it's really perfect how they established King K. Rool. And something, I mean, he even got a Fire Emblem counter for whatever reason. But
because his big metal belly is actually finally being used for something.
Yeah,
like his chest armor is.
I mean,
used to defend.
It's an armor, not a belly. And
yeah, it's armor.
I mean, it makes sense, but it still came off like, okay, he has a counter. Why not?
Why not? Yes, if I had to nitpick and really nitpick, it'd have been nice if he had the pirate outfit as an ult. I don't think he does, simply because he puts on the pirate hat when he pulls the gun out. But that's like a very minor nitpick and not really anything properly against him because he looks so much fun to play as.
Yes. I mean, that's the only nitpick I see around online. Like, it would be nice if he had his pirate outfit, but that's really the only thing. Everything else is perfect, and I love how he runs. Like, his running animation is really surprising.
Yeah,
like,
it's interesting because it makes sense. It makes him look more ferocious and less goofy. Plus, he's a gator, so they run on all fours. But I saw his designer on Twitter, like from Rare, talking about it, how he never really pictured K. Rool running on all fours, but it makes a good parallel to Donkey Kong, who does.
Yes, and such respect for the character. And so much effort into it. I was really amazed, and
but surprised that they like blew their load so much on newcomers in this direct, because this clearly isn't the last newcomers that we're gonna get. Yet, how can you top Simon Belmont and King K. Rool?
That's true. I mean, a lot of people didn't even expect King K. Rool trailer to appear. Like, I mean, I remember from the live stream that Carlin, Push, and Shadowlink all said no. We don't see anything. And we won't see King K. Rool, and I was the only one who said, no, we are going to see him. I'm really sure about that. And
to be fair, I'm lucky I put King K. Rool on my character predictions, because initially I didn't have him on there. And then I was just thinking, I was like, no, there's no way that they won't have King K. Rool in this game. Even if he's like a secret final character that you have to unlock, and they don't even reveal him before the game comes out, he's going to be in the game somehow as a playable character, which is why I put him on at the very end. And I'm glad I did, because I was right. Well, I mean, they revealed him beforehand, but Sakurai also confirmed they were going to reveal every character before the game came out, which is a first.
Yes, which is also probably to fight against leaks and having spoiled surprises. I think probably.
Yeah, and it makes sense to do so. If every character is going to be unlockable except for the original 8, there's no reason to hide them anymore.
Yes. It's the new age of the internet and social media. It has to. It's difficult to have it as a surprise.
Yeah. But all the characters shown off were great, and that's just the characters. We haven't talked about stages, items, music. Like, I don't understand how this can even fit onto a cartridge.
I don't even know how it can fit in 16 gigabytes or.
No, I don't think it can. I'm pretty sure it says on the website now that it's over 16 gig, which means we're probably getting the more expensive 32 gigabytes. But I can't imagine there'll be an extra download. It doesn't say so on the box for starters.
No.
But considering Brawl also had like a dual-layered, more expensive disc, so that it could fit all of the stuff on there, this is just par for the course for Sakurai, it seems.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the music, for example, is compressed like crazy. I mean, it has to be compressed crazy.
Well, we'll see. It sounds good. So, unless it sounds like terrible in the game.
No, yeah. I mean, there was already, Wolfman, who does all our music articles and also tries to search or research all the music that's already in Smash Ultimate, also said that some music has a pitch difference or are sounding a little different from how we knew or how we know the old tracks. So there will be some difference. But it's still amazing. Over 100 music tracks and 900 with all the own compositions and fanfare. That's just crazy, honestly.
Yeah, nearly 900 tracks is a bit insane. And you can listen to them all just like you could on Smash 3DS, which is a feature I knew would come back, because it's just one of those small things that there's no reason to cut it.
Yeah.
But like, unlike the 3DS, which is small enough that you can put it in your pocket, you're not quite fitting the Switch in your pocket, so bit of a large MP3 player going on here. But still, it's a good way to have it, because there's no way Nintendo will actually release a CD with. And they already announced the Smash Special Edition just comes with the GameCube controller, so it's not like the Wii U one, which came with a CD. So,
yes.
Oh well, we can still listen to it all for free when we buy. Well, I guess it's not free then. When we buy Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
But I still think it's kind of funny how they make it such a surprise announcement. Like, one special, or not one announcement relating to music, and they're silent, and they just reveal you can listen it to the Switch as well. I thought it was kinda... Huh? Why did they take so much time and exposure to... But it's fun, it's good to have this as a future.
Yeah. One thing I'm half and half on right now, in terms of whether I like it or not, is how music has been implemented into the stages. So they talked about how rather than each stage having a set track list, every stage has it's based on series. So any Zelda stage, you can listen to any Zelda music, and so on. And the only one that seems to be an exception to this is Mario, because Mario has 2 series. And people have pointed out to me that Mario Kart was often treated slightly separately than regular Mario. So that might be what it is. One is like Mario spin-offs of Mario Kart music and Paper Mario and Mario and Luigi music, and it only plays on the Mario Kart and Paper Mario stages. Whereas the main Mario series music is all on the other one, which could very well be true. That could be the case. But what this does mean is that we can't get stuff like the wonderful 101 theme on Mario Galaxy, or the Golden Sun battle music on Colosseum, I think it was, from Fire Emblem. All of them have now been secluded into the other section. And the other section is only for stages like Summit and Wrecking Crew and Pilot Wings and stuff like that. Which does worry me slightly, because I worry that some music just won't fit any of the battlefields that you fight on. Like, I can't imagine using the Golden Sun battle music on Pilot Wings.
No.
Because they don't really fit thematically. It's just a weird thing I started thinking about. I mean, my plan is probably to go through the songs in each stage and just like, okay, Mushroom Kingdom, I'll just make it so all of these stages, songs that make sense fit on there, and then I'll make it so that all these songs that make sense fit on Luigi's Mansion 1 and so on like that. But
it's weird. I never thought it like that, but I feel like there might be some exceptions. Like, from the sound menu, yeah, it's listed in other section, but I can kind of see, like, okay, that the selection in the sound menu is not really representative and might... I'm not sure what I'm saying right now, but
yeah.
Because I'm just shocked about the revelation of the wonderful 101 music from Super Mario Galaxy not being there, to be honest.
This is the thing. It's because we know that this is how they've sorted it out, because of the fact that whereas Game & Watch and Final Fantasy and all that, which only have 2 tracks each, damn you Square, have their own slot, because the Game & Watch music is on Flat Zone, and specifically Flat Zone.
Yeah.
And the Final Fantasy music's obviously for Midgar. The Ice Climbers, Duck Hunt and Rob music are all under the other tab. Which means it's not, the tabs aren't split up by if this game has a character in it that's in Smash, then they get their own tab. It's split up by stages. And this is partly done because, like, balloon fight music works on the Ice Climber stage, whereas I don't think it works very well on Flat Zone. Although this does mean that Flat Zone only has 2 songs on it. I'm trying to remember how many songs it had in it in Smash for Wii U though.
I only remember not many at least. But
it might have just been 2. I mean, it is a bit weird to have Ice Climber music on Flat Zone.
Yeah, it's true. But like what you just mentioned with Final Fantasy having only 2 tracks, that's again very unfortunate. But I don't feel like it's only the fault of Square, but more that just Nintendo doesn't want to pay more Final Fantasy tracks.
Well, I mean, that's partly Square's. That is partly Square's, because Square's demanding like tons of money for the Final Fantasy music, whereas Konami and Capcom aren't.
Which is
Square's decision.
It's Square's decision. I personally don't think it's bad to ask for more money for your properties, but it's their decision. It's still sad, but yeah. Yeah, and it's also why I stopped thinking Dragon Quest is likely, and I don't think Geno is likely. I just don't think we'll get anything else from Square. I don't even think we'll get an assist trophy from Square at this point. I mean,
which would
maybe,
make Final Fantasy like the only third-party series without an assist.
I mean, it doesn't have to be from Final Fantasy. I mean,
I just
a lot
think
of
from
people...
Square in general. I
Yeah,
don't think
but-
we'll get an assist trophy,
But
or a boss or anything.
But I mean, at least Geno was at least a Mii Fighter costume, so I can actually see at least as an assist trophy. This is a possibility I think might happen.
I'm not as convinced, but I wouldn't mind seeing it. We need to see if the Mii Fighter costumes even come back. I'm
I
assuming
don't think they
will.
will. I don't think they will. Like,
Like, you don't think they will come back, or?
nee, I don't think they will become without any base of information or sources. But yeah, that wasn't in the direct at all. So
No.
we better save that topic for another discussion.
Yeah. Let's go on to stages, because that's what we were kind of talking about.
Yes.
They confirm that there's going to be, I said it earlier, 103 stages, over 300 if you include the battlefield and Omega
Yes.
forms of every single stage. But of those, a lot of people have been upset because of those 103 stages, Poker Floats isn't one of them. But also there are only like 4 new stages. So, 4?
Yeah, it's like the
New
New
Donk
Donk
City, Great Plateau, Moray Towers, and Dracula's Castle. Yeah, 4. So, yeah, that is kind of a shame, to be honest. I thought there'd at least be like 10 new stages. But no, there's just 4, and that's a bit lame. There's a lot of space at the bottom. Probably, we'll get DLC stages for sure, and I'm hoping some of the returning stages get brought back, because some I understand, right? Like with the new stage morph, which I didn't expect at all.
That was a complete surprise for me myself, yeah.
Like with that, I understand why stages like Icicle Mountain and Congo Fall, or Congo, whatever it's called, Climber.
Yeah, I think those stages weren't popular at all because of the mechanic.
The Donkey Kong one certainly wasn't. Bramble Falls, but the Ice Climber ones was okay. I was hoping at least one would come back because it's a unique stage idea. But I'm assuming that stage morph doesn't work very well on them, because you're jumping from what's a stationary stage to a moving stage that goes upwards vertically.
Yes.
I'm assuming that's the reason. But then you have stuff like Sector Z, okay, from the N64 game. It's a bit redundant with Corneria. But Planet Zeebs at least has a different layout to Brinstar, even if they share the same lava gimmick. So I'd have liked to see Planet Zeebs come back. And Mushroom Kingdom Melee. I mean, alright, it has the same aesthetic idea as Mushroom Kingdom 64, but it's got a different layout. And there's no reason why that can't work as a stage morph, so I don't understand why it's not there.
I mean, maybe some stages are like Mushroom Kingdom from Melee, that it's cut intentionally, because with the N64 version we already have something aesthetically very similar, and the N64 also had the warp pipes. Sorry, I just forgot the name, how they called it, but they at least have an unique gimmick, unlike the Melee version that's just basically Super Mario Brothers.
I know, but still, the stage layout is at least different enough, and you could argue its gimmicks was that it was filled with blocks that you could break, so you could remove the platforms if you hit them enough.
Yeah,
so,
but okay.
I don't know. I feel like those few stages, like I understand other stages, like Woolly World was a bit weird, but when I looked into it, I found it was very technically difficult. So running that with 16 ice climbers might have been the reason. Yeah. Same for Orbital Gate Zone, which would have been nice to have come back, even though I wasn't that big a fan of the stage. But technical wise, it might have been too difficult if you wanted them all to be 8-player. Mute City and Rainbow Road are both missing, but they both, I think, are quite large stages that require a lot of work to be done. And it just might not have been seen as valid, especially when you've already got Port Town Aero Drive, which fulfills the same sort of role. And then Poker Floats was gone.
I mean, Poker Floats was always gone. It was only in Melee. It was just a fever dream.
Hey, well, you know what? They added Pirate Ship back because it was like the most requested stage Smash for Wii U DLC.
True.
Maybe they'll add Poker Floats back as DLC.
I mean, yeah, DLC is always a possibility, and I think we'll see some stages coming back. And about the stage morph mechanic, I'm very curious about what if I'm choosing a tiny stage like Fontaine of Dreams, which I'm very happy to be back finally, and morph it into the Great Cave Offensive. Like
I wondered about that as well. Like if you were on Palutena's temple and each of the 4 fighters were on different corners of the map, and then you swapped to Fountain of Dreams, would it just suck everybody into the center? Like, I mean, will like the black hole item just appear and just pull everyone in and then morph into?
I mean, there is a transition time. In the direct, they speeded it up, and maybe in that transition time, they're giving the players the option or the opportunity to come back to the center of the stage. This is something I can think of, but I still think it's like in the middle of the match, you just adapted to a tiny stage, and suddenly you have to adapt to a big, giant stage. I think that might cause a lot of chaos. Yeah,
I'm just curious how it's going to work, so we'll have to wait and see for that one. The stage morph is cool, so then Sakurai went on to talk about rules and new game modes, and I like that you picked the rules first, and also with the inclusion of Stamina mode as a main mode now, and the inclusion of a final Smash meter, you can have PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale as a game mode now. But you can have just regular fighting game mode, where you build up your super meter and stuff like that, and it's all about racking up combos to get health down rather than trying to stay on the stage, which I think is really cool.
You can literally play Street Fighter 2 in Smash Bros. With that option, like.
Yes, you can actually.
I mean, with Ryu, with the
Ryu versus Ryu, sure.
Yes, it's really just Street Fighter 2. Such an awesome addition, and
I wonder if that'll be an event match, like you face Ryu as Ryu, and it's just on the like Omega version of his stage.
It has to be. I
with
mean,
health, stamina, and so that would be a really cool event match or a challenge or something, I think.
No, which I am super happy about. One new mode is the Squad Fight. I don't know how this works. Squad Strike, perfect. No, because I always love to randomize my characters, but don't like to always go back to the menu or go back when the fight is over and having a rotating fighters. This is something I always wanted. Since, I think it was since Brawl. I think maybe it didn't want it that much, but in Brawl I really wanted it. And with Project M having that option, that wish became stronger, and I'm just glad we have this now.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. One thing a lot of people are wondering about, apart from that you can only do it 3 to 5, you can't customize it really, is that it obviously showed the transition of each character moving with a different person attached to it, and that seems like it would interrupt the flow. I'm wondering whether or not, because he did specifically specify that you can either do it where you each have 5 characters each, but it would be fun to take it in turns with the people around you. So I'm wondering whether or not that means you have that option, basically. If you're just playing one-on-one, but you want 5 characters each, it doesn't take you to another screen. But if you actually have set it up so that each character, when you go out, you give your controller to someone else, that's what that screen is there for, to give players time to pass the controller around. Or maybe actually what it is you 1v1 like Ganondorf versus Link, and then when Link goes down, then the next match will be whatever their second character goes on. It's almost like a best 3 out of 5 situation. Or best 2 out of 3 for the 3 mode.
I really hope it's the second option, like having the multiplayer option just for people to switch controllers and have the other mode 1v1. But now that you're saying that, I feel like you might be right. That it isn't what we imagined to be.
I'm interested to see what the original Japanese says. Maybe we'll force push to look into that. Just to see if we've got a different understanding or a bad translation of it.
or a playful translation from 19 of America, which is
bad
a lot
is
of
the wrong
games.
word. 'Cause...
Yeah.
But I actually really like the Smashdown mode.
Oh yes.
Where you go through the whole roster, but once you've played as a character, you can't play as that character anymore. I think that's really cool. Like, you can just... Because one thing I always really like doing in Smash is just playing on random, because it means that... And having everyone play on random, because it means that every battle changes things up. With who, apart from the fact that you'll be picking characters that you're not usually familiar with, every match you're fighting against different characters, so you have to think about new tactics and stuff. Whereas I know a lot of competitive, it's like you just play the same characters and play against the same characters. And I like that Smashdown forces you to do it. It's also when you're playing the big group and like everyone's changing characters, but you got that one guy who's just playing like Captain Falcon every single game.
Yeah, that's good. It really gets annoying, and I'm also really happy about this new mode, because I mean, it also makes sense in the context of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, because you have so many characters, and crossing out the ones you played and nailing down to the one. I think it really also makes more sense for Ultimate, and I mean for Brawl, for example, that mode would be going down very quickly with 6. If you're doing 4 players matches and you have 35 characters, and it would really go down in 5-6 rounds. And in Ultimate it can go longer.
Much longer. I mean, let's just say we get to 80 characters, which I don't think we'll do, but let's say we do. 4-player matches, there'd be 10. And then 8-player matches, there'd be 5. So... Wait, no, I'm wrong, sorry. 8-player matches, there'd be 10. 4-player matches, there'd be 20. I can't count, apparently.
Because I just believed you.
But there is one thing I'm interested in. Where is Smashdown? Because Sakurai gave us a preview of the menu, which there isn't much to talk about. It knows that Games and More is back, Vault is back online, a new blurred out mode, which a lot of people are calling Spirits, but we don't know anything about it, and then Smash, and he goes into the Smash part. But if you look at it, there's only Smash, Special Smash, Control Options, Strike, Squad Strike is a separate mode, and then Tourney mode, which is also back in the Brawl version, not the crappy Smash Brawl version, although I'm sure that version will also be back for online tournaments.
But maybe
Smashdown isn't there, so I'm wondering if Smashdown is like a rule.
I was just saying that
before going in.
I think it might be a rule before, and I think it would make sense because it's just an option to disable multiple character uses. So I don't think it justifies an extra option. And it's like you would make an extra panel for coin matches, which is also very easily done under rules. And
that's true.
I feel like it might be under rules.
It's true. I wonder if it's something that you have to unlock, like you can only play Smashdown once you've unlocked every character.
Oh, good, right?
Because otherwise Smashdown, I mean, if you're doing 8-player Smash right off the gate and you only start with 8 characters, Smashdown is just a pointless mode. Because although, one thought I had is, I wonder if players can play as the same character in one match. Like, can all 4 playful choose Mario? Or does Smashdown literally only limit one character per person use? Like, everyone has to be a unique character.
I mean, that's something we really only know for sure if we try it out by ourselves.
I'm assuming it's that, just because otherwise
it defeats. Be weird.
As Sakurai stated, there's a tactic to pick a character that you know your opponent's good with, so they can't use them. And that would be redundant if they could still use them anyway. So
yeah, but it's something we have to see. And
so I think the last thing to talk about, I guess, is items, assist trophies, and Pokemon. And I'm really glad that we got a Alolan Executor, and I'm really sad that we got Mimikyu. Because I wanted Mimikyu to be playable, but alas.
I mean, there were a lot of supports for Mimikyu. So
Yeah.
I was not sure how would be playable in Smash Bros.
Well,
I
I'm
mean,
glad
there
you
might
asked,
be
because we have a Dream Smashers for that on source-gaming.com.
True.
Go check that out. Link in the description below.
I think I should do that right after this discussion. Wink, wink.
But yeah, Mimikyu and Alolan Executor, and I guess Fire Vulpix. Was there any other?
Yeah, Fire Vulpix was also added. I mean, they also shown some old ones like Abra and
Abra, Luna, Solgaleo, and Lunala.
yeah. I think
they had Marshadow as well, which
and
I don't
Ditto.
really know anything
Ditto.
about. And Ditto.
I think
Ditto
Ditto
is a cool one, because that's been a long time in the making.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just putting the concept from Melee. Like, I'm not sure how I got it on. I think for Melee it was also planned that Ditto copies the other players. It was planned.
It was planned enough that Ditto has his own model and appears in some strategy guides, but cut, probably because of technical reasons.
No,
it's
we have the
here.
We have the technology. We can make it.
We can make it happen. I wonder if because you can knock out Ditto, so I wonder if you'll get like a point for that, like you do with assist trophies. And assist trophies are back with obviously like Zero from Mega Man.
I mean, I almost agree. I mean, I would almost agree, but you could also kick out Pokemon in the past and didn't receive anything. So I think maybe there's an
To be fair, you could also kick out some assist trophies in the past and didn't receive anything. So,
yeah, true. I think we need a confirmation.
Yeah. But, yeah, assist trophies.
Yes.
Zero has been confirmed as an assist trophy, which is cool for Mega Man. I wonder if Elecman is back, because we haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, I think he might be back, because if Smash Bros. Ultimate is already based on a lot of content from the Wii U version and 3DS version, I don't see why they should cut Elecman.
I mean, you say that, but Smash Tour might be gone.
Okay.
We never know.
Okay, I mean, yeah, we sacrificed Smash Tour to have more characters.
To have Ditto.
But that's true, you never know if he can get. But it's still interesting, it's Zero, because isn't that another favorite character from Keiji Inafune?
Yeah, well, Zero was
and
the
Elecman was
what Keiji
also.
Ifune originally wanted to design, was his original design for Mega Man X, before they decided they wanted to go for a more traditional looking Mega Man design. But Zero makes a lot of sense as the assist trophy, a lot more than Elecman did. I almost wonder if they made Elecman because they could easily reuse Mega Man's model for that.
The thing is, Elecman was Keiji Inafune's favorite boss.
Yeah, well that might be why he was chosen over like Cutman and something.
I mean,
Cutman's more well known than Elecman.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Cutman makes a lot more sense, for me at least. But yeah, I almost feel like someone is actually behind the crowns. But you never know, that's just tip folding speculation. That means nothing.
But trying to think.
Ashley was shown at least.
Ashley was shown, yes, and a lot of people are sad, and one guy is very, very furious about it. I've seen on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, I also saw.
It's a shame.
It's I mean, I also think of who were also confirmed as assist.
What Nikki was? Nikki was confirmed as an assist trophy, which I'm super happy to see, because it kind of like verifies that she is a big enough character to get this. Because a lot of people are always like, Nikki got a lot of love in the Badge Arcade, and you could make the argument that, you know, along with Ashley and Nikki and Isabelle, Nikki was like just really popular and used quite a lot. But obviously a lot of other people argued, well, she had Swap Note, which wasn't even a game, and it got shut down, and then she had Swap Doodle. And most people don't also realise there's also Nikki's Travel Quiz in Japan, which was a game. But she's actually here as an assist trophy now, where she draws stuff on the screen. It's super cute.
Yeah,
I'm
it
like
was
actually really happy that she's made it in.
same. I mean, it was even my. I mean, for a assist trophy spectre, I really wanted Nikki to be my top pick, and I'm really happy she made it. And
Yes.
I'm also happy that someone else made it, like Shovel Knight, which is
Oh yeah.
such a big surprise, and I'm so happy for Yacht Club.
Yeah, so am I. I expected Shovel Knight content in the game because of the fact that Nintendo published it in Japan.
Yeah.
But I was thinking it would just be music or at best a Mii Fighter costume. But a full-on assist trophy is really good. It makes me, although I think it's only got Shovel Knight only got in because Nintendo published the title in Japan. I do wonder if we will see any other potential indie characters like Shantae or the Bit Trip Commander video from Bit Trip Runner getting more than just a trophy role.
I mean, it depends. Like, if Sakurai decides we are only getting one indie character as an assist trophy, as a guest appearance, it might. Yeah.
See, I don't think being indie is really a factor. It's more about really what they've done in terms of gaming, and you can't deny that over the past 4 or 5 years, Shovel Knight's been pretty big.
Yeah, true. That's true. I mean, he's
not like
basically
AAA
everywhere.
success, but
I mean,
yeah, he is everywhere.
Yeah, and Shantae is also pretty big, and
yeah,
if I recall correctly, is also quite popular in Japan.
Yeah, well, his games get released in Japan and stuff, so and they're always Nintendo-ish loyalty usually. I mean, it's on other systems, but a lot of focus on Nintendo. So we'll just have to see. I guess we'll just have to see.
Yeah, but it would make a lot of sense to have Shantae to be an assist trophy.
Yes, and I guess for items, very quickly, though they're not as interesting to talk about. I'm glad that Fire Emblem finally got an item with Killing Edge.
Yeah, I'm not really a big Fire Emblem expert at all, but when he swung his sword and that sound came, I instantly knew, okay, that has to come from a Fire Emblem game.
Like, Fire Emblem's a series that gets a lot of characters, which a lot of people complain about, but doesn't get any love like anywhere else. Like, Lyn is the only assist trophy. It only has 3 stages now, but that's less than like Earthbound or F-Zero.
Yes.
So it's like the same as Animal Crossing. But yeah, it's got an item now with Killing Edge, which I like how it's implemented, because I was thinking it would be something like Hand Axe or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for items. So that transitions us into Rathalos as an assist trophy, and bosses, which was kind of like the big final thing they showed off. Rathalos and Monster Hunter, with a Monster Hunter area, are going to appear as a boss fight, which confirms that proper boss fights are coming back, not just Yellow Devil or Metal Face. Although I do wonder if they'll repurpose those two as like boss fights.
I mean, it would make sense to use the assets for boss fights. And I think it's a very likely possibility.
Yeah, and Rathalos appears as both a boss and an assist trophy, whereas Dracula, and Kid Dracula, who are both very clearly bosses as well, don't seem to be appearing as assist trophies. I mean, maybe Kid Dracula will. They were trying to keep it a secret that he was in. But Dracula himself, otherwise I think Sakurai would have said that Dracula appears in assist. So presumably he doesn't, and it's just the Rathalos. But that does make me wonder what other bosses we might see, and which one of them might be assist. Like, will Petty Piranha and Rayquaza come back as boss fights?
I mean, Petty Piranha, already has some data in Smash Bros. Wii U and 3DS, so yeah, I think it might be likely to have some assets from the old games, from the Subspace Emissary.
Same for Porky from Earthbound.
Yeah, which
kind of boss. I don't think the Ridleys will, because we've already got Ridley, but I could see like Dr. Eggman, I think, is a prime candidate to appear on a Green Hill Zone using his ball and chain, like recreate the first fight ever he had against Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes.
As a boss. And he's also one I could see reappear as assist trophy, because he's small enough he could just appear and swing the ball and chain around as he flies across the top of the screen.
Yeah, that would be the second assist trophy for the Sonic franchise.
Yeah,
But
it'd be third, assuming Shadow is playable. Oh no, Shadow is just an assist still, not playable.
true. But yeah, there's a big open field for who can be boss fights, and I really hope we get more information about that new mode that Sakurai kinda hinted at the end.
Yeah,
Kinda
I think it's
not.
going to be the big focus of whatever next Smash Brothers Direct they do. Will be focused on
Yes.
Spirit Mode and how everything they haven't talked about, like custom moves and Mii fighters, trophies, other bosses, how all of those relate back to Spirit Mode. I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, I personally feel a lot of like how you unlock characters, for example. I feel like Spirit might be one of the biggest focus on unlocking characters, because I remember when they first revealed the roster and when they said that you can unlock the other players, that it should feel like you're recruiting old characters on your side, and I think this is so phrased that I feel like there's more into it, and that more might be how you can recruit more spirits in the spirit mode, how you can recruit more characters and such, and yeah.
Yeah. But that's I want to know what other third-party series we might see show up in just Spirits mode, like Monster Hunter. Is this where that rumored Minecraft stuff is going to be? Could we see other popular series like Rayman get content here? Like, I'm just trying to think of other. The one I keep thinking of in my mind, but I don't think would happen, is if we get any mystical ninja content in there. I've got the first boss fight from the SNES game where you fight the ghost in the graveyard. Like, for some reason, I keep thinking of that as a boss in this mode. I mean, it's a popular series, and Konami seems to be perfectly okay giving a series out for Smash, so that'd be a fun one to see.
And I mean, even Kid Dracula, a very obscure reference, made it into Smash, so maybe there is an option for a mystical ninja.
Yeah, and I wonder if we'll get music, like, I wonder if the Monster Hunter stage Rathalos boss fight will have, like, Monster Hunter music to accompany it, and if that
it should have.
And if that music can then be used in the My Music section, because would that get put under Other then? Could you, like, play Summit to the Monster Hunter battle theme?
I will do that, actually. I would instantly make the Monster Hunter theme at my top priority for the Summit stage. Or for the Hannibal stage. Even
for the Hannibal.
No,
that'd
but
be
I
an
think
interesting
it
one.
has to be. And what I also thought about, I mean, a lot of people argued about Monster Hunter being a playable character. And it was a playable character in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. But I still feel like the identity of Monster Hunter rather lies on the monster or the big giant dragons and such, and how you fight them, how you hunt them. And I think what Smash did is maybe the best solution of how to represent the Monster Hunter franchise.
People are always going to like characters, but a Monster Hunter stage where Rathalos appeared or a boss fight were the two best. Were the best way of showing off the series.
Yes.
In Smash. And they're doing it well. So, and besides, if you really want to play as a hunter, the Miis, if Mii Fighter comes back, there are 2 Monster Hunter outfits that Miis can wear from Smash 4 Wii U DLC. Just bring them back, and then you can have Rathalos armor Mii, and that can be your hunter.
Yes, then you can have not even Street Fighter in Smash, even Monster Hunter in Smash.
So, Nirbion, do you have any final thoughts as this discussion is getting to like short movie lengths of
like,
so
I think I completely said everything I wanted. I feel like everyone is happy about Smash Ultimate, what they revealed. I'm happy what I saw, and we'll see for the future what can Smash Ultimate be even more, or what the Spirits mode is. But I'm done here. a lot of information we got on Wednesday.
Yes, it is. And I don't think we're going to get any kind of big blowout anymore until October, November time. Like, thinking about it, it's been just under 2 months since Smash 4 Ultimate was shown off for the first time. And it's 4 months until release, so some point in October, another 2 months from now, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
Although I could see a regular Nintendo Direct coming up where they announce a character in that, and that could be our next actual bit of Smash information.
Yeah, but
I think the blog is just going to be going over stuff that was in this Direct again.
Yeah, I think I can see both options being likely, like another Smash focused Direct only on the Spirits mode, or just a segment in the Nintendo Direct in the future. I think both are equally likely.
Yes. Alright. So, thank you very much for joining me, Nirbion.
No
letting
problem.
Me gush all my thoughts on this, as I didn't get to before. And thank everybody who has listened this far in. I know it was a long one this time, but thank you very much.
But it's justified. It's justified. It has to
yes.
be the law.
I also want to give a special thank you to all of the patrons here on the right side of your screen, which is my left, because I'm looking out at all of you from the TV. But also, a special thank you to the super patron, the Duke of Dorks. So, a link to his channel, as always, is in the description and on the end card. Give this a like, share it with your friends, tell me what your thoughts were about the Direct, and always remember to return to the source. Okay, cut.
Cut.